You do not rise by chance. You rise by decision. Let that settle, not as a phrase, not as inspiration, but as a law. A quiet, immovable law that governs every life that has ever broken free from the ordinary. Nothing in your life right now is accidental. Not your position, not your income, not your confidence, not your doubts. Everything you are living is the result of decisions made or avoided over time. The world loves to tell you that success is luck, timing, or privilege. That lie keeps people comfortable in their excuses. But history tells a harsher, more empowering truth. Every meaningful rise begins the moment a person decides they are no longer available for mediocrity. Look closely at the great builders of history. Edison failed publicly thousands of times before the world ever saw a light turn on. Carnegie arrived with nothing but belief and an unshakable decision that poverty would not be his final chapter. Lincoln lost elections, businesses, friends, and faith from others, but never the inner decision that his purpose was larger than his pain. These were not lucky men. They were decided men. And decision is not emotion. It is not motivation. It is a line drawn in the soul that says, "From here on, I move differently." Most people wait. They wait for clarity. They wait for confidence. They wait for permission. They wait for circumstances to improve before they improve themselves. And while they wait, life moves on without consulting them. Opportunity does not knock on passive doors. It responds to energy, direction, and commitment. When Napoleon Hill studied the wealthiest individuals of his era, he found a single dominant trait among them all: definiteness of purpose. Not hope, not wish, purpose. Clear, burning, decided purpose. The kind that reorganizes your days and exposes your excuses. Indecision is the silent killer of potential. It disguises itself as caution, as realism, as patience. But underneath, it is fear, wearing a respectable mask. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of discovering what you are truly capable of and having no one to blame if you fall short. So people drift. They stay busy but unfocused, in motion but not in progress. And years later they call it fate. But it was never fate. It was avoidance. Decision changes how you see. The moment you decide, the world reorganizes itself. Your mind becomes selective. You stop consuming what weakens you. You stop tolerating what drains you. You stop negotiating with habits that sabotage your future. Decision sharpens your perception. Suddenly, distractions become obvious. Weak environments become unbearable. Small thinking becomes offensive. Not because you are better than others, but because you are no longer willing to betray yourself. Belief follows decision, not the other way around. That is where most people get it wrong. They say, "I'll believe when I see results." But belief is not a reaction, it is a cause. When you decide, belief begins to form through action. Each disciplined step reinforces identity. Each kept promise to yourself builds internal authority. Confidence is not given. It is earned through evidence. And evidence only comes after movement. Visualization is not fantasy. It is rehearsal. Every great achievement is built twice. First in the mind, then in reality. Ford saw an engine before it existed. Disney saw a world before anyone believed in cartoons. What you repeatedly imagine with emotion and clarity begins to command your subconscious. And your subconscious governs your habits. Your habits determine your direction. This is not mysticism. This is alignment. When thought, feeling, and action move in the same direction, momentum becomes inevitable. But clarity alone is not enough. Discipline is the bridge between intention and reality. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect in motion. It is choosing the long-term reward over the short-term escape. Every morning you wake up, life asks you a question. Will you act like who you say you want to become? Or will you rehearse who you have always been? The disciplined answer compounds. The undisciplined answer repeats. Most people underestimate the power of small decisions made consistently. They look for breakthroughs while ignoring behaviors. But empires are built quietly, long before they are visible. Carnegie didn't dominate steel overnight. He mastered process, people, and patience. Success leaves clues, but only for those willing to study, adapt, and persist when recognition is absent. Persistence is not stubbornness. It is intelligent endurance guided by purpose. Gratitude anchors power. Not gratitude as politeness, but as awareness. When you recognize how far you've come, you reclaim energy. When you acknowledge opportunity, you sharpen it. Gratitude does not make you passive. It makes you grounded. It keeps ambition from becoming desperation. It allows you to build without bitterness and rise without arrogance. Adaptability separates survivors from leaders. The world will change. Markets will shift. Plans will break. The decided individual does not collapse when conditions change. They recalibrate. Edison did not mourn failed experiments. He catalogued them. Failure, to the decided mind, is information. Resistance is refinement. Pain is instruction. Every setback asks a single question. Will you learn or will you retreat? And understand this. Resilience is not toughness for show. It is quiet persistence when no one is watching. It is returning to the work after disappointment. It is choosing faith over fatigue. The world does not reward potential. It rewards applied intention over time. Talent opens doors, but character keeps them open. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not disqualified. but you are responsible. Responsible for your thoughts, responsible for your standards, responsible for the decision you either make today or delay again. Life does not change when you feel ready. It changes when you decide. Right now, somewhere inside you, there is a version of yourself that already knows this truth. The one who is tired of drifting. The one who feels the quiet urgency of wasted potential. The one who knows that comfort has become more painful than risk. That voice is not anxiety. It is calling, and it will not be silenced by distraction forever. Decision is the turning point of destiny. Not tomorrow, not when conditions improve, not when approval arrives. Decision now reshapes the next hour, the next year, the next life. You do not rise by chance. You rise by decision. And the moment you decide, the climb has already begun.